Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we'll learn how to use images in our HTML document. Let's jump straight in. At the end of the lesson, you will learn how to embed images into web pages. So, how do we insert images in a web page or in your HTML document? You will need the image element anytime you'd want to insert an image in your HTML document. Now, the image element cannot have any child content and cannot have an end tag. For most elements, you realize you will have the opening tag and the closing tag. However, with the image element, we don't have any closing or end tag. It is just one tag that we would use when we want to insert an image into a web page. The image element would always require two attributes for it to be useful. The first attribute you would need in your image element is the src attribute. The next attribute you would need in your image element is the alt attribute. Let's examine what the source attribute is. Now, the src attribute would always contain a URL that points to the location of the image you want to embed in the page. What this means is that without the src attribute, an image element has no image to load. So the src attribute is very essential if you want to load an image in your web page. Next, let's learn about the alternative text or the alt attribute. The next attribute we are looking at is the alt attribute. The value of the alt attribute would be a text that is describing the image you have inserted. So why do we need the alt attribute in our image element? The alt attribute is used when the image cannot be displayed or the image is taking a long time to render because you have a very slow internet connection. And so on most web pages, if the image cannot be displayed, which we generally refer to as a broken image, you will see the text that lets you know that this is the image that we're trying to load but cannot be displayed. So that is the essence of the alt attribute. Now that you understand this concept, let's jump into our code editor and start applying some images on our HTML documents. Our focus here is how to add an image to an HTML file. So within this section, I have a heading and then I have two blocks of text which are in our paragraph element. Now below this block of text, I want to insert an image. So how do I go about it? We know that we will need our image element first, and the image element accepts two attributes. The first is the source attribute, then the next is the alt attribute. So let's jump straight in and implement that. So I'm going to have my image tag created, and then I have my source attribute, then I have my alt attribute. Okay, so what do we do next? In the source attribute, I need to specify the destination of the image. Now, the image can be on an external resource. In this case, I would have to copy the entire URL and then place it here. Or the image can be in my folder. So here in our folder, I have an images subdirectory. And in this image directory, I have a file that is teach.jpg. So I want to go into this image directory and then access the teach.jpg file. So how will I be able to do that? first we'll need to go into the directory. So to go into the directory, we'll enter the name of the directory or folder. So where I have my image located is in the images directory. So I'll write images, and that will take me into the images directory. Then /, and then the name of the file. So the file name is teach.jpg. Okay. Next, I'll need an alternative text that will describe the image. So I guess say a man teaching web development. As we learned, this alt tag is useful when the image is taking too long to load or the image does not display at all. This alt text will be displayed on the screen for the user to know that this is the image that we're trying to display. So now that I'm done with this, I'm going to save this file and then go reload my page and see if this image would be in my web page. So let's jump straight to my web page and then reload to see the results. So this is my web page that is displaying my home page, how to learn web development. And you can see that when I scroll down, I have my image that I have inserted. Right now, this image has a very big file size. And so next we'll learn how to resize this image, give a width and height to the image using purely HTML. We want to learn how to specify the width and height of the images we upload in our HTML document. Now, we have two properties that we would use. We'll use the width attribute to specify the width of the image, and we'll use the height attribute to specify the height of the image. So this is an illustration of how it's going to be. We're going to have our image tag and then have a width attribute, a height attribute, and then give it their value. So what should the width be? What should the height be? These are just numbers that you would enter. You don't need any pixels or any unit after the number. Just enter these numbers and it's going to set the corresponding width and height of the image for you. So why do we need the width and height? If you specify the actual size of your image in your HTML using the width and height attribute, the browser will know how much space it has to allow before it downloads the image. So let's move to our code editor and give the image we've inserted a width and a height attribute. So these are code that we inserted our image. We want to give it a width and height attribute. So what we do, we come here and then write a width. Then we'll give it a value. Just the width is indicating how long you want your image to be. So I just enter any value, let's say 600. Then the height will now indicate the height of your image. So let me give my image a height of 700. Then I save this file. So let's go to our web browser and then see the results now. So this is our initial page that had the original image without the width and height property. I'm going to reload the web page and then see if the width and height I set for the image has been applied. Alright, so now you see that the image has reduced in their width and height. I'm going to reduce it further and then come reload this page, then see the results. I'm reducing my width and height further. So I'm going to reduce this width to, let's say, 400, and let me give this height of 300. Save the file and then see the results. I've changed my width and height again and come to my browser, reload it. Then you see that this has also decreased in width and then decreased in height. So this is one way of decreasing the width and then height of an image you set into your HTML document. You would have the option to label images you insert in your HTML document. Now, HTML provides two elements to do that. We have the figure and caption element, and these are used to provide some sort of container for figures, be it images, etc. And the fake caption is how we link the figure to the caption clearly. So the fake caption is a text that you use to link the figure, which is the image, to the caption that you have below. So let's see how to implement that in our code editor. So this is our code editor, and we want to add a label to our image. So what we need is the figure and then the fake caption element. So first, I'm going to wrap the figure element around my image element. So I'm going to have my figure first, then wrap it around my image element. And then the next thing I would need is the caption. The caption is the label or the text that describes this image. So below the image, I'm going to have my fake caption. Then within the opening and closing fake caption tag, I write the label. So the label could be a young man teaching web development to his students. So there's a caption I chose for the image, this image that I've inserted. Right. Now this caption here is different from the alt tags. The alt attribute is normally displayed when the image is broken. However, this figure caption element that you're adding would be visible on the web page after your image has been displayed. So let's go to our browser and view the results. So I've revisited the home page and reloaded it, and as you can see below, I have the caption displayed underneath my image. So a young man teaching web development to his students. So this is how to add a caption to any image that you upload in your or you insert in your HTML document. If you found value in this lesson, please subscribe to my channel and see you in the next lesson. Keep coding.